Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahushua Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo, and I'm going to do a little overview of the markets and just point out some trade setups that I might be looking at in the RTH tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually the 4th of October 2023. So let's jump into this here. All right, so looking at the news coming up tomorrow, we got excuse me. All right, at 8:15 a.m. All right, let me change the color on that. Hold on. All right, so at 8:15 a.m. we have ADP non-farm employment change. Then we have 9:40 a.m. we have final services PMI, and at 10 a.m. we have ISM services PMI. Right. So we also have factory orders month over month, and we have FOMC member Bowman Speaks and crude oil inventories at 10:30 a.m. So around the initial balance time is when these guys are starting to speak. So I kind of want to take my trades like before the initial balance is set. Because when these guys start to speak and oil inventories come out, then we might get some turbulence in the market. At 8:15 a.m. when this stuff comes out here, the non-farm employment change, that will probably cause some disturbance as well, but it'll be before the open, right? So at 9:45 a.m. these final services PMI is not a red book, so it mightn't disturb the market that much, but who knows, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So let's see here. All right, so that's the news for tomorrow. So gotta watch out for that while I'm trading, right? So let's take a look here at the bond market on the daily. We're at Camarilla S3, the monthly Camarilla S3. That's that green line right there. Let me just point that out. Right, so the green line there, that's Camarilla S3. Right, so we kind of broke down from Camarilla S3, and now we have this little wick at the bottom. We popped above it, so we're now sitting at 101.55, right? So right there, Camarilla S3, we had that wick up, and that's where we're sitting at right now, 101.55. So this is looking like it might break down a little more, but the buying is coming in a little bit. So let's see what that does tomorrow as well. Right, so looking at the copper market, we're still moving down. We got a little buy in here at this low volume area. Let's pull this out. Right, so that's the low volume node, that purple line right there. So I'm expecting price to move through it. We had this follow through here after the wick that reclaimed what the wick had bought up. So we had this follow through. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger. Right, so we had this follow through right here, breaking down and covering what the wick bought up. So the sellers reclaimed that right there. So we're now sitting at 3.5935, right? So I'm expecting it to break down and probably get to this high volume node right here at let's see where that's at. It's approximately 3.4930, right? So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen, right? So we're supposed to probably get back to this excuse me, this kind of high volume area here, this consolidation, this auction right here that caused the buy up in the first place. So we kind of coming back to that level. So kind of dead in the middle of that level. This consolidation or auction is the high volume node. So I think we're coming back to that there. So the bearish thesis on copper is still looking intact. Let's see here. All right, the US dollar still looking strong. We had some taking of profit here. The high is approximately 13,223. So we have to take out that again. So we found some support here at the 61 fib resistance line, and we're pushing up there now again. So we broke through previous week's high. So I could take that out right now. I don't need that anymore. We already broke previous week's high. So yeah, I think this is looking very bullish right now. It's a bullish setup. I think the continuation is probably gonna come and play here. Let me look at something right now. So we're probably gonna retest these levels here at 13.268, right? So you see how let me see. You see how price just whipped down here. So let me just pull out something real quick. Let me see if I have my volume pointer control. Yeah, it's not coming back far enough for that. All right, let's try something here real quick. All right, so I gotta set that at 247. So that's the look back at 247. Let's see what the volume profile is showing, right? That's what I thought. So you see this purple line here, that's the low volume area. And we're probably gonna shoot through, just like we shoot through here to come down. We're probably gonna shoot up through this area again and come back to test that level, this level right here. All right, so that's a bullish thesis on the US dollar. That's gonna cause some more pain in the stock and futures market. All right, let's go to Euro USD. So Euro USD, it broke down from Camarilla S3. Let me just point out where Camarilla S3 is. Right, so that's Camarilla S3 right there. And that level is approximately 1.04658, right? And we had a push up above it, like buyers tried to buy here, got the sell off, big wick at the top, and we're pushing down again. So the dollar strength is just impeccable right now. So I don't think the Euro USD doesn't really stand a chance right now. And we're actually breaking down. Let's see here. Let me just point that out. So you see we actually broke this level here already, right? And price is now, hold on. Right, so we broke down from these levels, this level here, the support level. So all of this is open right now. We could get back to anywhere here from, well, we're actually coming back now to the 50% fib line, right, which is at 1.04054. So that's going to be the first resistance right there, right? So I'll open that up. All right. So let's see. Try and measure that a little bit, see where that lands us. So approximately 54 pips down is the 50% fib line, right? Fib support. So let's see if we get there, you know. Continued dollar strength is going to cause that to break down. Let's see, go to Russell 2000. Russell 2000 is now at these levels. We already broke this level right here at around this wick bottom here was at 1740.5. Price is currently at 1.733.2, and this is the low here at this wick is 1710.5, right? So we're well on our way to break down in the Russell 2000 as well. And as you can see, if that breaks, there's a lot of space below, right? So we're going to come back to these levels here where we're retesting this level here right now. I hope you can see that, right? Retesting that level right there. And if that breaks down, then we got these levels here. We got this, well, all of this right here, right? All right, so that's still looking bearish as well. And for the volume profile, we're at the low volume bottom edge. So it's either buyers just buy up from here, it rejects price as low volume, or the selling continues and just breaks through it, right? So go into the ES now. Right, so that's Camarilla S3 at, that's the monthly Camarilla S3 at 4237.75, right? Price is currently at 4248.25. So when we get down here, you can either get some support or we're going to break through that. But you know, this is a support level here, so let's see what it does. The 61% retracement or support level is at 4220.00. So that's another level of support right there. So we're coming down into some support areas. Let's see what it does. If the US dollar continues to be strong, we're just gonna push through those as well. But those are places to look for buys. If you want to do reversals and stuff like that, you might get like not really long-term buying, but you know, you might get a bounce from here. So if you want to do reversals around these levels, like 4237.75, you might get a bounce at the 61% fib retracement support at 4220, you might get a bounce as well. So let's look at the daily volume profile on the ES as well. Right, so the VPOC, let's see what the VPOC kind of lines up with Camarilla S3. Let me just pull some out real quick. Do I have the cams here? Yeah. Right. So Camarilla S3 is just above this VPOC line right here. So all of these areas here, this little area here, we could get some buying coming in at these levels, right? So gotta watch out for that. If I'm going short, you know, which I want to go short, I just wanna go with the trend, you know. So gold, let's see. Right, gold is also approaching the monthly Camarilla S3 right there. Let's see what level that's on. Look like 1833.7. Yeah, 1833.7. That's the level right there, right? So right now we're currently at 1835.3. So pushing down there, probably gonna get a bounce. We actually wicked out from this area already, so I'm just, hold on, let that big truck just pass by real quick. All right, so we actually had a bounce up from this area already, so we're pushing down again, you know. So The sellers want to reclaim that what they got before, so they're gonna attack these lows here at 1830.9, right? So let's see if they break Camarilla S3. All right, we got oil inventories coming up tomorrow, so let's see where oil is at. Oil kind of got a bounce here from a low volume area, and also just above this monthly Camarilla S3 level here at 87.40. So we got the bounce at, let's see, approximately 87.77, right? So now we're up here. Current price is at 89.17. And let's see if it wants to reclaim that after the inventory news comes out, or if it's gonna just continue kind of pushing back higher, right? Let's open the volume profile. And I did mark this low volume area between these two. It's not really that much of a low volume area because it would have been a purple line like this one. Like this one right here, this is a low volume area. But the volume here is lower than between these two, right? So this area here is a little low volume area. We had the buy up from this area as well. So let's see if it comes back here or if we push back up back into the uptrend, you know, after the news. Right. So lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because this is one of the few things that's actually buying up at the moment. So we actually had this wick rejection in a low volume area as well. Let me just throw on the volume profile real quick. Right, you can see that gap between, it's a high volume node right here at around 27663.97, and this low volume node is going all the way up to around, you can see, you could push that up a little more to around, let's see, let's just adjust this a little bit. Right, so the low volume gap starts from this high volume node right here up to probably like around this level here at 28,832.14, right? So we had that wick rejection within this low volume area, and we pulling back, right? So we pulling back to this 38% fib line right here at 27373.08, right? So we're getting some wick. Let me just make this a little bigger. I think it'll be a little clearer. Right. Right. So we did have some buying coming in here on these wicks. Right. So it's still looking bullish. We're getting some support here. Maybe we'll attack this low volume area again and probably push up. So the reason I pointed out Bitcoin is because it's really the only place that the sellers are, like, when people are closing their positions in equities and, you know, everything is selling off and stuff like that, where is the money actually going? Because these people have to put their money somewhere. So to me, it's looking like they're actually kind of going into Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the only thing that's looking kind of bullish, apart from oil. So maybe they're buying into oil and they're buying into Bitcoin. That's the only thing that's moving up to me, really. Right? So, all right, let's go down to the 5-minute chart on the ES. Let's see what setups I could find for tomorrow. All right. So the Camarilla setup here, let me just take off a bunch of stuff real quick. Try and clear up this chart. I know it's a lot. All right, so let me point out where stuff is. So this is the central pivot right there at 42.7725. This is the bottom central pivot here at 42.9350. And this is the top central pivot at 42.7425. So you notice I'm saying this one is the top. This one is the bottom central pivot and it's actually on top. And this one is the top central pivot and it's actually on the bottom. But sometimes in the calculation of the CPR, they actually flip. So the calculation for the top central pivot sometimes ends up at the bottom of the central floor pivot. So don't pay that no mind. That's just how it comes in sometimes. But this is the top central pivot, right? But it's now at the bottom, right? And this is the bottom central pivot, that green line, but it's now at the top. So don't get confused with that. And compared to yesterday, this was the range yesterday, right? So this range here was pretty tight. It was barely a couple points of range, but now you can see the range is much bigger. So that's an indication of price slowing down. Price may slow down tomorrow. It mightn't move as much, right? So that's just an indication. It doesn't have to do that, but it's just an indication that price might not move that much compared to how it moved when it broke away from this narrow central pivot area here. So let's see, we have a golden pivot zone. Let's throw on the Camarillas right now so I can point that out. Right, so this is Camarilla R3 and we're in a lower value relationship because this here was Camarilla S3 yesterday and Camarilla R3 is now way below it, right? And Camarilla S3 now moved down to this level here, right? At 42.41.50, right? So it's a lower value relationship. In theory, you're supposed to be looking for rejections around this area as a pullback. R3, you'll get a rejection for a short. And if you get a breakdown of Camarilla S3, you get a retest for a short or a breakdown of Camarilla S3 to go short, right? With stops above Camarilla S3. So that's kind of like the principles of how I'm looking for my setups right now. So it'll be nice if overnight we get a pullback up to this golden pivot zone because now it's Camarilla R3 mixed in with the money zone weekly value area low, right? Plus the central floor pivot. So these three lines here, these three different indicators are showing the same resistance levels, right? So my bad. So if it pulls back here, this is a nice place to get a short for a continuation down, right? And I could also look for targets here at Camarilla S3 or beyond, right? And this is also monthly Camarilla S3 right here. So all of these are support areas, right? So maybe tonight price gets a little bump here, maybe rallies up a little bit, maybe test weekly Camarilla S4, kind of moves around a little bit and retests maybe Camarilla R3 and we get a short, or we get the breakdown here and a retest in the morning to go short, right? So that's roughly like my trade setup. And this is something I could kind of plan this out right now, that I'll be looking for these setups, but then when the market opens and we have news coming out and all that kind of stuff, you gotta be real nimble with you want to enter at certain places, but I still gotta be conscious of other things moving around and affecting the market. So we'll see how it goes. You just gotta be patient and wait for these action levels of Camarilla S3 and this golden pivot zone right here. And that's basically my setups right there, All right, y'all. So it's Malak Shalomo. This was my little overview of the market and my little trade setups for tomorrow. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed.